Hi there. Okay, no technology fluff and fun tonight. Today, that was all last night with the sparkles, and it was all pretty and everything. Okay, so this is a short clip, and the majority of us that enjoy these, I don't know, what do we call ourselves? Talking heads, or I don't know what we call ourselves. But anyway, most of us have been actually covering the Johnny Depp trial. So defamation case against Amber Heard. Um, we are talking it to death, right? I mean, every channel there are attorneys that are talking about the legal part of it. There are psychologists talking about the psychological mental health side of it. There are counselors that are talking about, how things could have done, how they could have potentially uh, healed their relationship, or where the relationship went wrong. um, the, Everyone that with even the slightest bit of training has found a way to sort of get on this Johnny Depp, bandwagon against Amber Heard. I think one of the most we're definitely, let me say this, we're definitely we're definitely a group that we were raised with Johnny Depp, right? We were kind of his age as he moved through the movies from 21st Jump Street all the way on up. We aged with him, right? And when he began to do the Pirates of the Caribbean movies, we had little kids, and we were taking our kids to go see, Pirates of the Caribbean. So we've all kind of grown up with Johnny Depp. He's been like a constant figure in our lives. He would never know us, but of course, he's just a household name for the majority of us, that do this. So you look at Amber Heard, on the other hand, and she's a child. Um, she is not, well, that's not true. She's a bit older than my daughter, but when he met her, she was a baby, right? She's 22, 23 years old. We don't know her. We don't know much about her. The movies that she's been in have been a horrible choice. The girl, young woman now, I don't mean to be condescending, but she's just kind of stumbled from one bad decision into the next. And you wonder to yourself, how does one person make that many bad choices? Um, even when Johnny Depp warned her about certain roles, certain movies, he warned her. He said, "Don't do this. You don't have to do this. You're not that girl who has to show her boobs. You can you can become a professional, a star, all on your own right. You don't have to resort to, demoralizing, demeaning behavior." And he, even when they were in London, was it called London Fields? When they were starring in London Fields, he actually devised a way that she could get out of getting naked, right? And he was in the film as well. He did not want to do the film. He was in the film. He more or less did it for her. And they went to the director, and he said, "Look, here's what we could do, and then she doesn't have to get naked," right? Well, then he finishes up. He's got this little bit part. So he finishes up what he's doing. He goes, and it caused this huge fight. You've heard about the fight with Billy Bob Thornton and everything. Well, she claimed that they used a body double, that it wasn't really her completely naked doing raunchy things. But it was bad enough. The body double was so perfect that Johnny Depp was absolutely certain that that was his wife up on screen, and he was pissed. So you know, she makes very poor choices on her own, and when she has a professional who has managed his career impeccably, she won't take advice from somebody who really knows, you know? So it's just been that kind of all lays the foundation for why there are so many of us that are so interested in this trial and all that is happening in the trial. I even there's been this discussion that I've seen for, well, did she have to write something bad for it to be libel? If it's going to be a slander, can it be where she told anyone, or is it only Washington Post story? You know, what's the story? And the story is that it's a defamation case, and that Washington Post story is mentioned in the case, but it's not restrictive. It's not saying the Washington Post case caused the problem. So it can be really anything. And I think I think what we've heard them say in the courtroom has been, you know, starting in 2016, from the moment of the restraining order that was ill-gotten, that they did not follow the rules. He did not get an opportunity to go before the court and explain why it wasn't true, or to give proof, evidence that he did not hurt her. She waited till he left. Then she filed the restraining order. He was in the air over the Atlantic Ocean when the temporary restraining order was granted. So from the moment of the restraining order in 2016 to the coup de grace, which was the Washington Post, there was this 2-year period of time where this story was spreading like wildfire about what a wife beater and a horrible human being, you know, that he was, and that he was severely mistreating Amber Heard. Well, we all grew up with him. We didn't grow up with Amber, and we just thought, wow, that is so disappointing. We love Johnny Depp so much. That is terrible to find out that, you know, he's this bad guy. The majority of us just kind of, like we do everything that comes out on the news, we just accept that what we're hearing, somebody must have vetted, somebody must have ensured that the information was right, or you wouldn't have had Entertainment Tonight talking so freely about it like it was fact. We had the Washington Post, we had the Sun, we had all of these newspapers, all of these reporters were on this bandwagon that it was proven that Johnny Depp was a wife beater and he was the most horrible creature on the face of the planet. And we all believed it. Why? Because we give credibility to these big name news foundations and organizations. We just blindly believe them. If CNN says it, it must be true. If Fox News says it, it must be true. Did you know that the U.S. government can pay Fox News or CNN or any of the other new 24-hour news cycle, that they can pay them to run government propaganda, messaging by the government that doesn't have to be factual, and they can run it like a real story? It's legal. So we believe if it comes from, you know, Washington Post, New York Times, we believe it. And what we are now beginning to learn is that's just not the case. It's not. People somehow have stopped vetting stories to make sure they're real. If it comes out on the television, we just jump on it and we just believe it, hook, line, and sinker. And real people are getting hurt from this. Look at what it's done to Johnny Depp in his career, although he has gotten an offer for a very fine movie. So that's great. So I was horrified when I heard this moment that Johnny Depp won his defamation case against Amber Heard. When I heard it, well, first of all, I was very happy because I love Johnny Depp. But on the other hand, I was so disappointed because here is this organization that we put so much faith into. They have had such a stellar reputation. It's one of those organizations when you hear the name, you just think, yes, I can believe that organization. I can trust the words of that organization. And you know what organization that is? That is the ACLU, right? You hear ACLU and instantly you think the greatest minds in the country, right? Educated at Harvard and Georgetown and Yale and University of Pennsylvania. Yeah? We hear that, we think, yes, they will tell us the truth. If we can't believe CNN and we can't believe Fox News or we can't believe Washington Post, well, the damn ACLU will definitely make sure that the information that they put out will be accurate and truthful because it's the right thing to do. Because when you lie about people, when you mislead and you twist the truth, you damage human beings. And in this case, it was Johnny Depp and his daughter and his son and his sister and all the people that love him that he treats like family. They were all damaged by this horrific lie. And we saw Isaac begin to weep on the stand because he said he had seen so much pain. The lies that had been told, there was so much pain in the people that love Johnny Depp, watching him suffer, watching his reputation be destroyed, watching a lifelong career go down the tubes. It was such a painful process, all based on a lie. Didn't happen. So you think with the ACLU, you can trust them, right? You think if the ACLU said, so we could believe in the ACLU. And that's what I knew. When I heard these words from the lawyer representing ACLU in this case, when I heard these words, I said, that is it. That's all, folks. It's over. He's won. The jury won't forget this. Amber Heard is going down, in the words of one infamous Don Wells. So let me pull my clip up. And then you too will hear. Okay, here we go, right here. All right. You too will hear the clip that shows Johnny Depp has won this case. All right. Let me get it up on the screen for you guys. All right, everybody, let me make sure it's turned on and loud as it's supposed to be. Okay, here it is. This is the moment. Right here, the case is won.
Is agreeing with Mrs. White's characterization that the USA took Ms. Heard to be referring to her allegations of physical violence by Johnny Depp, correct?
Yes.
And she says it's kind of amazing that they just grabbed the entire op-ed and rewrote it using Johnny's name. Why was it amazing?
I don't know why she found it amazing.
Because that was consistent with your understanding. She was referring at least in part to Johnny Depp, correct?
Based on my review of prior drafts of the op-ed, I knew that there were that she was referring to Johnny Depp and her marriage.
Boom. That's it. That's all, folks. Case one. That's at the heart, right there. Now, I do say, I definitely believe, regardless of that moment, that one moment, I do think he's won this case on multiple occasions. I don't think you can break it down to just one single moment. But for those of you that are completely unconvinced, where you're absolutely standing by the side of the girl, that's your moment where you know the truth, right? That Amber Heard and her team have said, hey, back off, Buster. The Washington Post article wasn't about Johnny Depp. Does it say your name, Johnny? Do you see your name, Johnny? What about you? Oh, well, the ACLU, who was driving that ship, said it is. And that they knew that it was about Johnny Depp from the very beginning, because when it was originally written and turned into their people, their publishing team, their editors, their lawyers, their defamation lawyers, it had Johnny Depp's name all in the article. Johnny did this, Johnny did that, Johnny Depp did this, Johnny Depp did that. And it was the ACLU editors that went through and rewrote the article. And he admitted it flat out. And so on the one hand, I'm cheering. I'm going, hell yeah, Captain Jack Sparrow's back. Yeah. But on the other hand, I'm thinking, wow, you're going to tell me that a team of editors and defamation attorneys got together with an article written by Amber Heard and they rewrote it so they could defend themselves in a court of law? They didn't give a damn that it was a lie. They didn't care that it was going to destroy the life of Johnny Depp and the people that love him. They didn't care. All they cared about, they wanted their Me Too story. They wanted their Me Too ambassador that has 6-foot-long legs and a big, pretty woman smile. They didn't care that it was a lie. So rethink your position if you're standing by the girl, because we know people that work in the field of mental health and research, we know that men are also the victims of domestic violence. We know that men also are battered. We know that there are many men that are far more warm, gentle, kind, and nurturing than the female. We know this to be true. And I think this is one of those cases where a very manipulative and ambitious young woman thought that Johnny Depp was going to be her footstool for the claim to fame. I think she thought if she could take Johnny Depp and prove him to be this cretin against women, that she could stand as ambassador for all abused women everywhere, and then she would end up being some sort of, Elizabeth Taylor. The one thing she didn't count on, though, was the truth. Do these Hollywood people, do they live in such a bubble of protection that they get used to behaving badly and nobody ever coming out to tell the truth about their behavior? Is that why she was so confident? Did her lies, did they hinge on the likelihood that people would be willing to believe that Johnny Depp was an abuser and a batterer because he had an alcohol and drug problem? Is that what she was counting on to make people believe her? That somehow she is this poor, powerless, beaten, downtrodden, poor young woman who's being handled and dominated by the big, strong Hollywood star. And then all of we women were going to identify with her because, after all, she doesn't use drugs. She doesn't get drunk. He does. Almost like she has this idea that every man in the world is a drunk, that every man in the world beats their woman. And you and I know that's not true because many of us are married to very, very good people, right? So what about Amber and her alcohol and drug use? Well, it would seem that once Amber moved out, once Johnny Depp cut her off from his credit card, his $27,000 wine bill went down to virtually zero. Her friends came out and said that she regularly drinks 2 bottles of wine at night. And her wine, we learned the other day, is $500 a bottle. You may be asking yourself, where did her $7 million go? How did she spend $7 million? Well, do the math. $500 for 1 bottle of her wine, and she's drinking nearly 2 a night. How long is that $7 million going to last? It just for alcohol alone. We also know from the trial that she loves mushrooms, psychedelics. She also loves MDMA and ecstasy. So are these rumors? Is there any proof that she loves these things? Let's see. Uh-oh, what did I? Oh, I think I killed it off a while ago. I killed the wrong window. Okay, I found it. It was very quick. Listen. Okay, hold on just a minute. Let me get it pulled up. It was going so well, and then I X'd out the wrong window. So sorry about that. All right, here we go. Let me make sure that it's up on your screen. 1 minute. And there we go. All right. So here we go. And remember, I was saying, we hear all this about Johnny Depp and his alcohol and drug use. But what do we know about Amber Heard and her love of substances?
I hope everyone is happy, full hearts, full stomachs.
One eye is smaller than the other, Amber.
goals.
Messy.
A beautiful concept. That one I'd say worth dying for. Who cares?
Watch her body language here.
Register now. Please.
Watch her walk. She's so messed up. Notice she doesn't look at the camera. Unbelievable. Yeah. So it would appear that Amber may have a bit of a substance problem. If you're willing to go out in public with that many people watching you and you're that messed up, what are you doing when you're at home by yourself and nobody's looking, right? So there you go. So hopefully with that little tiny intermission where I had accidentally X'd out the wrong window, I made my point, right? I made my point that this defamation case has been won. And it was won by the words of the attorney that was representing the ACLU. And he absolutely endorsed that everyone there that had read from the first iteration of the op-ed all the way to the one that was published, they all knew that it was about Johnny Depp, all of them. But that's not the only thing that Johnny Depp's team has to prove. They don't just have to prove that the op-ed is what destroyed his career. Remember, 2 days after the op-ed came out, he lost the role that he created. He lost the role that netted billions of dollars for Disney. They just dumped him 2 days after. And Jerry Bruckheimer came out and said, you want us to go up against the Me Too movement? You want this guy whose face is getting plastered everywhere because he beat up our Hollywood starlet? You want us to now back him for Pirates of the Caribbean 6? Me Too will destroy us. Well, you know what? You got destroyed by something bigger than the Me Too movement. You got destroyed, Disney, by the family movement. You know, everybody in the United States is a part of a family. So Jerry Bruckheimer was solid about saying, we can't do this. We cannot accept standing behind Johnny Depp when she is being toasted as the woman about town who's going to be the ACLU ambassador for women's rights and the Me Too movement. Our movie, Pirates of the Caribbean 6, we're not going to stand up against all of those angry women for one Johnny Depp. I don't care how much money he's made for us. And they dumped him 2 days after the Washington Post ran the op-ed. The op-ed that during the trial, the attorney who's representing ACLU said they all knew that the op-ed was about Johnny Depp. In fact, it was the ACLU editors and defamation attorneys, in-house attorneys, that rewrote the op-ed so that when it was published, it would be published in a form that they felt like they could defend themselves if Johnny Depp sued them. Case over. Johnny Depp wins. He's going to get awarded his $50 million, and the coup de grace, he's been offered a delicious role. That's right. You heard it here first. He is going to be in a blockbuster movie. All right. You guys have a great, what are we today? Are we Saturday? Oh my gosh. All right. Saturday. Have a great day. I will be back tomorrow. Bye.